Previously on the Hardy Boys.
Open up! There's no escape, you two! We're 50 feet up! Just give up now!
Better put some haste in your hack, Joe. I don't think that chair's gonna hold much longer.
I'll do my job, you do yours. Just find us a way out of here.
This must be safety glass. It isn't making this easy. Find something we can use as a rope. We'd break our necks jumping down from here.
Got it.
Crap! Don't move, boys! Mr. Ingalls would like a word with you.
Hey, oh. What's going on?
Endangering a pedestrian? Reckless driving? Running a red light?
This really isn't anything to laugh about, boys. When your father and I agreed to get you both motorcycles, we set very strict conditions. Did you know that almost 50% of accidents involving motorcycles result in serious injuries? You can't afford to disregard the law.
Mom, what are you talking about? We didn't...
Officer Piedmont would like to speak to you, boys. I don't know what to make of this. I really don't. I'm very disappointed in the both of you.
Quiet, playback.
Wow, you boys have really gotten yourself into some hot water now.
You're wrong there. That water was freezing.
What did we do?
Under Article 418 of the Bayport Penal Code, I am hereby authorized to charge you both with violating the traffic code under Article 418 of the Bayport Penal Code.
You're not really a police officer, are you?
No, I work for the ATAC. I should have gone over my script a bit more. I'm just spouting out words here.
I can tell. So you work for American Teens Against Crime, too? What about the handshake?
At least I remembered something right. My name is actually Piedmont. Eric Piedmont, ATAC agent.
ATAC agent! ATAC agent!
Quiet, playback.
Couldn't you have come as a delivery guy or something? How are we gonna talk our way out of this one to Mom? We'll be lucky if we get to keep the bikes at all.
Sorry, orders. We had to get this package to you immediately without any chance of it being intercepted. I could tell your mom I mistook you for someone else.
No, that might make her suspicious. We'll take care of it.
My apologies, boys. Sorry for disturbing you.
It was so embarrassing. A police officer in our own house. Oh, it's a good thing he was young. It would have been worse if it was someone your father might have known.
Mom, you don't understand.
I'll tell you what I do understand. I understand that you won't be using your bikes at all today, and possibly for a long time. When your father gets home this evening, we can talk about exactly what your punishment will be.
How are we gonna get out of this?
We'll figure something out. Let's take a look at that disc.
I'll just borrow it.
Samuel Spencer, the owner of Spencer Mansion, one of the largest manor houses in North America. Spencer Mansion was burgled and robbed. It was a professional job. The thief or thieves knew what they wanted and exactly where in the house it was located. $200 million in bearer bonds, issued over 50 years ago from the Rothschild Corporation, were securely kept in the study, locked in a Mosler safe. Mosler safes are virtually impregnable. This particular safe weighed over 1,000 pounds. There were no signs of explosives, not that it would have mattered. The Mosler can withstand any conventional explosive known. Whoever broke into this safe almost certainly knew the combination. This theft presents certain difficulties that you two may be in a unique position to overcome. You may have heard the expression, possession is 9/10 of the law. In the case of bearer bonds, possession is 10/10 of the law. They hold no allegiance to anyone but their possessor. To make matters worse, the Rothschild Corporation is based out of Great Britain. International law is not as swift as we might like. The thief would have no problem cashing them in before we could get Interpol the authorization to stop him, or her. The strange thing is, nobody has cashed in the bonds. The circumstances of the theft point towards the perpetrator being a professional, and any professional would know their only chance is to cash the bonds as quickly as possible and escape to a country where extradition is difficult. This and the fact that we have been monitoring all flights and interstates out of Bayport with no success leads us to believe the thief may still be in Bayport. Who is the thief? Why would the thief stay in Bayport? Why would the thief not cash the bonds as soon as possible? With every day that passes, the chance of redeeming the bonds without being apprehended diminishes. These are difficult questions. We hope you two can answer them all. As usual, this mission is top secret. The disc will reformat into a music CD in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
$200 million.
I've heard of Spencer Mansion. It's just past Miller's Hill outside of town. It's a pretty creepy looking place. It's supposed to be haunted.
We better go there first. Ask the Samuel Spencer some questions.
How are we gonna do that? Mom took our keys, and Dad won't be home for hours.
I'll call him. He'll clear this up.
Don't use the house phone. Mom might pick up. Then our cover would be blown for sure. Use your cell.
I left it in my bike compartment last night. Use yours. You're kidding. Of all the luck.
No use just standing around. We have to find a way to get to our phones without Mom seeing us.
You boys get back to your room this instant. When your father comes home, we can all have a nice long talk about a suitable punishment. I don't know what it will be, but I imagine it will involve manual labor.
We have to find a way to get those cell phones without Mom finding out.
I'm aware of the situation, Frank.
Yeah, well, I thought it was worth repeating. I don't think we have a choice, Joe. If we want our phones, we're gonna have to leave the house through the window.
I guess that takes you out of the picture. You still have the scabs on your legs to prove you aren't much of a climber. I can't even count how many times that tree's helped me sneak out. And in.
I guess I'm gonna have to trust you to do this on your own. Just don't do anything stupid, okay? Shh! If Aunt Trudy catches us...
Sorry.
Is anyone there? Creaky old floors.
I'll just take this. Could come in handy.
Yes. Our bike. They were a gift from Dad. Aha, cell phone. I don't think anyone will miss this.
I don't think anyone will miss this.
Yes. Aha! Pretty clever. If I do say so myself. That's thinking outside the box.
This could be useful. Aha! Pretty clever if I do say so myself.
Are you calling him? Hello? Frank? Hello?
It's called a clue. Get one, Joe. Dad? It's Frank. Yes. No, we're fine. That's just it. We just had a visit from the ATAC with our next assignment.
Really? I'm not so sure they thought that one all the way through. Don't worry, Frank. I'll call her right now, take care of it. You need to get over there as soon as possible. Mind that Samuel Spencer. He's a piece of work. We butted heads a few times when I was on the force. Yeah, no, it's not a problem, son. You two be careful. Call me when you can. I love you too. And watch out for your brother. Bye, son.
Don't ask me how you got out of this one. Your father just called. He needs your help at the garden center, but don't think for a minute that we aren't going to have a long talk when you all get home. Your keys are on the table downstairs. Where's Joe?
He's in the bathroom.
The keys to your bikes are in the dish on top of the credenza. Be careful, and don't you boys dare speed.
Hello? Remember that girl from the bookstore? The one you had the crush on?
When I got back from camp, she wasn't working there anymore. I never saw her again.
How'd you do at camp? MVP?
What are you talking about? I broke my arm the first day, you know that.
So you never got to first?
I see where this is going, and let me warn you, Joe. A broken arm hurts. It'd be a shame if you got one.
Just joking.
Hey, Joe, what do you think of Lily?
Lily? Lily Spencer?
That's the one.
To be fair, I don't know her that well. And anyway, I think she has eyes for you.
Really? What makes you say that?
Because all pretty girls have eyes for you, Frank. It's your curse.
Very funny. Look, don't pull anything when we see her again. I hate it when you embarrass me in front of girls.
Moi? I'm always the picture of civility.
Just keep a lid on it.
The Hardys. Why am I not surprised?
Officer Riley, it's good to see you.
Hey, Joe. Your dad send you two down? You have an interest in this case?
Nope. We came on our own.
We're friends of Lily Spencer. Her father is Samuel Spencer's brother. Anyway, we thought we should come see how she's doing.
Not anymore, he's not. I'm renouncing him as my brother. Do you hear me, Thomas? I renounce you.
Calm down, Mr. Spencer. There's no need to fly off the handle here.
Who are these boys, officer? Vandals? Hooligans? Are handcuffs called for?
Mr. Spencer, meet the Hardy boys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hardy, eh? Fenton's kids?
Yes, sir.
I know your father. At least I knew him. I haven't seen him around in quite some time.
He retired from the police force a while ago.
Ah, well, as you can see, we are quite busy around here.
Yes, we know. We're here, on behalf of Thomas Spencer.
Scoundrel! backstabber, my own brother, that he has called in the proverbial cavalry, puerile as it may be, is further proof of his guilt.
You suspect your own brother in this theft?
I do more than suspect him, young man. I consider his culpability a virtual certitude. Nobody but he knows the combination to my safe, which, as Officer Riley will attest, was opened without force. The vile criminal knew the combination. My brother knew the combination. I think you can follow my chain of logic.
I can barely understand a word you say.
Officer, shall we resume searching the grounds?
Of course, Mr. Spencer. Now, you two boys stay out of trouble. If you need to speak to Lily, she's in the entryway consoling her father. I'm detaining him there until we figure out if there's any way someone else could have gotten into the safe without some dynamite. Seems like a nice guy. I'd hate to arrest him.
I know him, officer. I'm sure he didn't do it.
Character witnesses are all well and good, Frank, but Thomas Spencer's gonna need more than that. Things look bleak for him, I'm afraid.
Come on, Joe. Let's see if we can spot anything Officer Riley may have missed.
Frank, what are you doing here?
Hey, Lily, we heard about the robbery and just wanted to see if there was anything we could do to help.
Oh, hey. Hi, Lily.
How did you hear about the robbery? We just found out about it ourselves a few hours ago.
Seriously. I'm standing right here. Frank, can you look at me a sec? Am I blending in with the carpet?
Our dad used to be a detective on the police force. It's a tight-knit group.
How could you help? And hi, Joe.
See? That's all I wanted.
Well, we know that your uncle is trying to pin this thing on your dad. We can prove that he's innocent. Assuming, of course, that he actually is.
Don't be silly, Frank. Of course he's innocent.
Could we ask you a few questions about the crime, Lily?
Oh, sure, Joe.
Frank, maybe you better ask the questions. I don't think she can hear me too good.
Have you seen any strangers lurking around the grounds lately?
No, I don't think so. Wait, yes, I did. I saw someone at the utility shed a couple of weeks ago. I think it may have been a repairman who got lost. I only saw him for a brief second and he was gone. I never saw him again.
What did this repairman look like?
He was maybe 6 feet tall, dark short hair. Looked older, maybe in his 50s or so. Very thin.
Where is this shed?
It's around the west wing of the house. I don't think anyone uses it anymore, so I can't imagine the man knew where he was going.
What do you think of your uncle?
Honestly, he isn't my favorite person in the world. And it isn't just because of today. He's never been nice to us, always acting like he's doing us a favor by letting us live on the grounds, when the truth is, we're the only company he has. Without us, he'd have no one to order around.
So, who is your favorite person?
I can't imagine how it's important to the case, but that would be my mother. She needs me, and I enjoy feeling like I make a difference.
Have you ever been into Samuel's safe room?
No, he doesn't let anybody in there. When he isn't working, he keeps the door locked.
How do you know he locks the door? Did you try and get in?
Frank, could you ask your brother to not be so rude, please?
Can it, Joe? What can you tell me about your father?
Unfortunately, I know nothing about my biological father. He left my mother and I when I was very young.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Don't be sorry. Mom married Thomas some time ago, and he has been the sweetest and most loving father a girl could ask for. I have no reservations calling him Dad.
Okay, I'll talk to you later, Lily. Thanks.
No problem. I like talking to you, Frank. I feel like I can tell you anything.
Hey, what about me?
There are a few things I could tell you too, Joe, but I don't think you'd enjoy hearing them.
What is it with girls in this town?
Hi, Mr. Spencer. I'm Frank Hardy, and this is my brother Joe.
I know who you are, Frank. I've heard a lot about you.
Dad?
Sorry, dear. What can I do for you, Frank?
My brother and I are looking into this incident. We thought maybe we could ask you some questions.
Budding detectives. Of course. It would be my pleasure. They aren't letting me leave, you know. They think I'm the thief. No one wants the truth to come out more than I.
They're keeping you here? Can they do that?
I suppose technically they can't, but it wouldn't look good if I didn't accede to the officer's request.
What do you know about the theft?
Very little. I was working in the yard this morning, same as usual, when Sam came running across the yard, waving his arms and yelling at me. He said, "I knew it. I knew trusting you was a mistake. You think you're smart? You think breaking a window is enough to throw off the cops? I just stood there. I had no idea what he was talking about. He went back inside without coming any closer. A few minutes later, the police arrived, and, well, here I am. It's a shame, really. It goes to show that no good deed goes unpunished. I don't know why he felt the need to tell me the combination of that darn safe every week. He even made me write it down.
Where did you write it down?
On my hand. I usually memorized it by the time I showered, and to be perfectly honest with you, if I didn't memorize it, I didn't lose sleep over it.
He thinks the window was broken to make it look like an outside job?
Yes, that's the conventional wisdom, but have you seen it? The break didn't shatter it. If the thief's intention was to get in through the window, he would have had to find another way.
What is your opinion of your brother?
He's an odd duck, paranoid, quick-tempered. He's been that way as long as I can remember. I care for him, I truly do. But he can be difficult to deal with.
Why do you think your brother suspects you?
Well, $200 million is a lot of money. I don't mind admitting that I'm a little strapped for cash. If it weren't for Sam, we'd be in a pickle. But I would never steal from anyone, least of all him.
Do you have any idea who the thief could be?
I'm baffled. Sam's argumentative and aggravating, but he doesn't get out much. I don't think he has any enemies, although I suppose $200 million is enough incentive to steal from your best friend.
I know your daughter from school.
She's beautiful, isn't she? I love her as if she were my own. She's my second wife's daughter. I should say my last wife. Second sounds like I plan on having a third, which I don't.
Can you tell me about your wife?
Sure. I met Mary almost 10 years ago now. It was love at first sight. I had already been divorced for some time, mind you. Eventually, I married her. I was a little gun-shy after the first go-around.
Where is she now?
At our house on the manor grounds. She has polyneuropathy. She's been wheelchair-bound for some time.
Lily certainly is beautiful.
Oh.
You think so, too. Perhaps after all this blows over, you'll have to ask my permission to take her out on a date.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I meant that, yes, she's beautiful, and I was just agreeing with you.
Don't worry about it, Frank. You seem like a nice kid.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Spencer.
I guess I'll be here for a while if you have any other questions.
Thanks. It's a grandfather clock. It looks old and expensive. It's locked. It's locked. It's a paper shredder. Dad had one until we accidentally shredded his best tie. What can I say? We were young. There's a shredded piece of paper in here. There's nothing written on it. Totally blank. There's some glass on the ground here. I'll just take this. Could come in handy.
Mr. Spencer, mind if I ask you a few questions?
I suppose not, but make it snappy. I have a lot on my plate, you know.
When exactly did the break-in take place?
Last night, possibly early this morning. I don't really know. The alarm didn't go off, but I'm not surprised. The circuitry in this old place isn't very reliable.
Has your burglar alarm malfunctioned before?
It rarely functions at all. It's quite expensive to redo an entire electrical system. But seeing how this one dates back to before before I can remember, I suppose I'm going to have to take my lumps and just do it now.
What time did you discover the break-in?
I got up at the same time I always do, 6 a.m. I noticed the broken window before 6:30. I suppose you boys don't often see the crack of dawn, do you?
Not if we have any choice in the matter. No. Why do you think your own brother would steal from you?
Who can understand the workings of the criminal mind? Jealousy, greed, revenge. Who can say?
Is your brother not doing well financially?
No, not to speak of. He never seemed to care for money before, but since he remarried, I believe his new bride is applying the financial thumbscrews.
Why would Thomas Spencer want revenge against his own brother?
Like I said, who can understand the workings of the criminal mind? Certainly not me.
I've met him before. He doesn't seem the greedy type.
Yes, well, perhaps you should look to his wife for the necessary motivation.
Mr. Spencer, could you tell me how a typical day proceeds for you?
Gladly. I wake up as the sun rises, regular as the tides. I usually go straight to my study, check on things, and if the weather is clement, I open the window for a bit of a breeze. If it doesn't rain, I leave it open most of the day.
Did anything unusual happen the morning of the theft?
No, nothing at all.
No odd noises? No strange visitors?
No, I had a salesman interrupt my work at one point, but I told him to buzz off, which he promptly did.
What time was that?
I don't know. I didn't make a note of it.
Where do you keep the combination to the safe?
I don't keep it anywhere. I think of a new one each week and jot it down on a piece of paper. I leave the paper on my desk and glance at it occasionally until I'm sure I've committed it to memory. I then shred it.
When's the last time you changed the combination?
Why, it was yesterday, as a matter of fact. He says. By Jove, I think he's got it. The game is afoot. The little gray cells. Any one of those would do, but he says, What sort of two-bit detectives are you anyway?
Thanks for your time, Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
There's nothing written on it. Totally blank.
Officer Riley, do you have a minute?
Absolutely. What's on your mind?
Are you really going to arrest Thomas?
No. Mr. Spencer wants me to lock him up and throw away the key. But to be frank with you, I'm not convinced he's the man we're looking for. The evidence is nothing more than circumstantial at this point. And while it may be incriminating, something just seems all wrong to me. There has to be another way for someone to have gotten their hands on that combination.
That seems odd to me. Why would Samuel be so eager to have his brother arrested?
We aren't ruling out the possibility that Mr. Spencer has an ulterior motive for wanting Thomas out of the way. You never know.
What evidence do you have?
Well, like I said, it's all circumstantial at this point. There is no sign of forced entry into the safe itself. It's a Mosler safe, and those are almost impossible to crack.
What's so incriminating about the crime scene?
There appears to be forced entry into the house, but upon closer inspection, I don't know that it holds water. The broken window seems a little fishy to me. The break is too small for a person to slip through. There isn't even any evidence that it was broken from the outside. It's certainly possible that someone broke the window to make it look like an outsider did it.
Do you really need to hold Thomas here?
Yes, I'm not sure he's the culprit, but I want to keep him around until we figure out if it's even possible that an outsider committed this crime. After all, if we eliminate everyone but Thomas from suspicion, well, then the next step is clear.
I really think you're barking up the wrong tree.
I hope so. If you find anything that might help out, please let me know.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Yes.
Locked. A doorstop.
Officer Riley, do you have a minute?
Absolutely. What's on your mind?
We know how someone besides Thomas might have known the combination.
Is that so? How?
Samuel Spencer changes the combination every week. He writes it on a piece of letterhead and leaves it on his desk while he works, occasionally glancing at it until he has it committed to memory. Then he shreds the piece of paper.
He also leaves the window open while he works when the weather is nice. And it was especially nice out yesterday.
Right. So in the middle of the day, the doorbell rings. He gets up to answer it and leaves the door to the safe room open. So when he opens the front door to see who it is,
A crosswind blows through the front entry, into the safe room, and blows the piece of paper out the open window.
Seems pretty unlikely to me. Why wouldn't he notice the paper was gone?
He'd already memorized the combination. He has a stack of paper on his desk, and it's all the same letterhead. He absent-mindedly must have put the next piece from the stack into the shredder, thinking it was the piece with the combination on it.
we found a completely blank piece of paper in the shredder. Why would someone shred a blank piece of paper except by mistake?
So the piece of paper with the combination on it blew out the window.
We think so, yes.
That's still pretty limiting. Whoever did it must have been on the grounds that day.
Yes, but Thomas certainly didn't have any reason to get the combination that way. Samuel told it to him that very night.
Seems pretty far-fetched, but I must admit it is a possibility.
Does that mean Thomas can go?
Yeah, he can go, for now. I don't want him running off. Tell him to stay on the grounds. I'm sure I'll have more questions for him later.
Great. Thanks, Officer Kahn.
No thanks needed. Justice does no favors.
I got a sample of mud. This shed has seen better days. The lid is sealed shut. I can't open it. This could be useful. Hello again, Mr. Spencer. It's Joe and Frank Hardy.
Boys, thanks for helping me out with that rather uncooperative police officer back there. Please do come in.
Thanks.
Can I get you anything?
No, we're okay.
What can I do for you?
I don't mean to disagree with you, Mr. Spencer, but I really don't think Officer Riley was being uncooperative. Really, I think Mr. Spencer, well, the other Mr. Spencer, was putting him between a rock and a hard place.
Of course you're right. I guess it just hurts to think of my own brother being so quick to think I would betray him, especially after all I've done for him.
Why do you suppose that is?
Well, if I'm being honest with myself, I suppose I would say it's because he's so quick to turn on people himself, he thinks everyone else is equally capricious.
What do you mean, all you've done for him?
I'd rather not get into it. Suffice to say, we both had a rough childhood. I probably got off a little lighter than he did, but I threw myself under the train for him more than once. So the fact that now he seems to have forgotten or even forsaken what happened is upsetting.
So how's Lily doing?
I wondered how long it would take you to ask about her.
I'm just concerned that all this might upset her.
She seems to be handling it all right. I'm not sure where she got off to at the moment, but I'm sure she won't be long.
Is that Samuel's car near the front door?
Yes, that's his baby. He's had it since it came out, or nearly anyway. It was his first car, and he's never let go of it.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that old.
Joe!
Hey, I call him like I see him.
Your brother's right. It's a beautiful car. But in my opinion, it's more trouble than it's worth. Sam loves it, though.
Thanks for your help.
Anytime.
Hello, Mrs. Spencer. I'm Joe Hardy, and this is my brother Frank.
Hello, boys. It's a beautiful day out today, don't you think?
I guess so. Do you think we could ask you a few questions about the theft?
By all means.
Can you think of anyone who might steal from Samuel Spencer?
Well, I might. I wouldn't have the slightest compunction about stealing from that man.
You realize what you're saying, Mrs. Spencer?
I realize full well. I also know that I am innocent, so I'm not afraid of drawing attention to myself, especially if it will call the dogs off of poor Thomas.
So you didn't steal from him?
Well, of course not, my boy. One can have a motive, but possess neither the strength nor the will to follow through with it. And anyway, when you think about it, isn't $200 million really a motive of its own?
I'll say.
What is your opinion of Samuel Spencer?
I suppose it would be impossible for me to convincingly lie about it. He's hardly my favorite person in the world. He is neither honest nor compassionate. I find him extremely disagreeable.
What about him upsets you so much?
Look, nobody's perfect. Some people are completely truthful in all they do, and this can make them seem harsh. Other people lie whenever it makes their life easier, and to offset this, they affect a sort of beguiling charm. Alone, either of these traits, while far from desirable, at least make the person tolerable to know. Samuel somehow manages to avoid being either honest or charming.
You think a person can be either charming or honest, but not both?
Oh, heavens, no. There are many people like you describe. I simply believe there are many more who fail at either one or the other.
Has he lied to you before?
Very little comes out of the man's mouth that isn't a lie, or at least a distortion of the truth. His lies are often lies of omission. For instance, he told Thomas before we moved here that he required no rent or compensation for our lodging. Since we have moved here, he has essentially kept my husband as an indentured servant. When Thomas expresses a wish to pursue a career or prospects outside of Samuel's domain, Samuel makes him feel guilty until he agrees to drop his foolish whims for something more practical. Of course, practical in Samuel's view simply means that which benefits him most. Not a pleasant man at all.
What can you tell me about your husband?
Thomas is a dear. I had long given up on marriage. I just thought I was one of those people to whom it would never happen. It isn't easy for a single mother, you know. I had resigned myself to the life of a spinster, but then I met Thomas. How two people of such differing character as Thomas and Samuel could be born of the same woman is a mystery to me. Thomas has been the father that Lily never really had. Lily was already in her teens when we married, and you would think that would spell trouble for him or her, or all of us, but he is such a tender and loving father to her that she couldn't help but be grateful he entered our lives. Thomas would never steal, never! I can tell you that with all the certainty in the world.
Can you tell me anything about your daughter?
Lily? Oh, she has been strong and resilient, as the young often are. We've been through a lot. She's taken to Thomas so much. These accusations really upset her.
Can you tell me about how you came to Bayport?
Well, you are thorough, aren't you? I was actually born in Oswald, about 100 miles southwest of here. My family moved away when I was young, but shortly after my 17th birthday, we moved back. I lived in Oswald until I met Thomas.
Thank you, Mrs. Spencer.
You're welcome, boys.
Hey, Phil. What you doing?
Sweating. The darned air conditioner is on the fritz for the 4th time this year, no less. I can't stand working in this ragtag computer lab. Next year it's sea-sail or bust.
Honestly, Phil, it isn't even hot. Aren't you overreacting?
Look, I can deal with a little heat, but our school has such a meager comp-sci budget that our computers can't. Look at the Nexus. It's an antique. It has aluminum heat sinks. What's the matter, Bayport? Can't spend the extra 3 cents per cubic centimeter on copper for your children?
Whoa, what are you on about?
The Nexus won't even turn on when it's over 75 degrees Fahrenheit in the room. It's a safety mechanism like a fuse, right? And it's quite clearly over 75 degrees in here right now. It must be at least 76.
What's the Nexus?
Do you go to this school?
I don't spend much time in the lab.
You must not spend any time in the lab. The Nexus is a dedicated terminal connected online to a global database.
Now, I might be a little slow, but that sounds kind of like this thing called the internet. You ever hear of it?
Well, the internet is a great source of information, but it's also a great source of misinformation. The Nexus is monitored, so all the information it gives is guaranteed to be accurate. They usually give them to large universities and libraries. We got one secondhand, so to speak.
Hey, that sounds useful. Can you show us how to use it?
You haven't been listening to a word I've said, have you? It won't turn on.
But if the temperature drops to 75 degrees, it will, right?
I feel like a broken record here. Yes!
What is sea-sail?
The computer lab at MIT, where I'll hopefully be around this time next year. You can bet they'll have copper heat sinks. Or liquid-cooled. Liquid-cooled.
Catch you later, Phil. I don't think anyone will miss this. This could be useful.
Hello there.
Oh, hi there, kids. Working a weekend just like me, I see. I'm Mark, the handyman.
Hi, Mark. I'm Joe. Say, pretty hot in here, isn't it?
You noticed? The darn air unit ran out of coolant, and of course we don't have any here.
Can't you just pour some water in there?
Can't use water. The heat'll evaporate it. It isn't a closed system. Gotta use antifreeze.
Maybe we could help you get some.
Be nice if something went right today, huh?
I'll just take this. Could come in handy. Fantastic. I'll just borrow it. It appears it's nearly out of antifreeze. That's thinking outside the box.
Woo! You fixed the AC.
Yep.
I'll be. I guess this school does teach something useful, huh?
It might.
Well, thank you kindly. At least now we won't all die of exposure.
No problem.
I'm gonna go throw the circuit breaker. Be back in a bit.
Bye.
I think that's Iola over there.
Hey, Iola.
Oh, hi, Joe.
How's it going?
Could be better.
What's wrong?
Mr. Sachs, my AP chemistry teacher.
Ah, yes. Chemistry. Difficult stuff.
Not really. I have an A, but I'm shooting for an A+. He gave us all an extra credit assignment last week, and it has to be turned in by Monday. Nobody has even tried to do it. I think he just made it insanely difficult to get us off his back.
What is it?
He wouldn't even explain it. He just wrote, "Make me an aspirin and leave it on my desk by Monday," on the board, and left. I know being a teacher is hard work, but I really don't think that was very professional of him. We don't have the tools at the lab to synthesize aspirin. And even if we did, it's incredibly dangerous. It's not fair.
Hey, I've got plenty of aspirin at home. You forget who my brother is?
That's nice of you, Frank, but he said make me an aspirin. I think it's the process he's testing us on, not the end result.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't be. I'm not mad at you two. I'm mad at him. He has no right to put me through this kind of anguish.
Is there anything we can do to help?
I don't think so. Thanks, though.
Okay, well, if you need us, just holler.
Thanks, guys. I just want to be by myself for a bit.
Aha! Pretty clever if I do say so myself.
Well, if it isn't Frank and Joe Hardy. Huh. Haven't seen you in a while. How's it going, boys?
Hey, Chief.
Hey, Chief Colic. It's going okay. We're looking into the Spencer theft.
Oh, you don't say. A little cut and dried for you two, don't you think?
How so?
Isn't the brother all but in pinstripes?
I don't think so, Chief. We think he was either set up or just a victim of circumstance.
Well, you know how much I think of your father. You two have shown great instincts, too. Huh. Well, nothing would make me happier than to find out Thomas was innocent. Heck, I like the guy. I'd just give you a word of warning.
And what's that?
Trust facts over intuition. If you're looking for something and you want to find it, you probably will. I know old Samuel Spencer is unpleasant to be around. I mean, he's almost the exact opposite of his brother. But being unpleasant doesn't make you a liar. Nor does being pleasant make you an innocent.
What you're saying is, don't trust anyone no matter how genuine they seem.
Never trust appearances. That's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way through years of disappointment. Your dad knows it too.
All right, Chief. We'll be sure to try and keep our personal feelings out of it.
Good boys. Now, is there anything I can do for you?
Can I ask you about some of the suspects in the case?
Of course. Fire away.
What do you know about Samuel Spencer?
Well, I know he's lived here longer than I have. In fact, I do believe he was born and raised here. If not in town, just outside of it. Well, he's crotchety and sometimes downright rude, but I think that's just his way. He reminds me of my late uncle. He never really took to other people, just kept to himself. But I think at heart that he was a pretty good guy.
What do you know about Thomas Spencer?
Not so much. I don't know where he lived before Spencer Mansion. In fact, I don't really know anything about his life before he came to be with his brother. Like I said, though, he seems like a nice sort, and his daughter is as sweet as an apple.
Frank loves apples.
Stow it, Joe. Do you know anything about Lily Spencer?
Well, let me see. I know she is Thomas's stepdaughter, that he married her mother a few years ago. Martha? Or is it Mary? Oh, yeah, her name escapes me at the moment. Apart from that, I don't know much. I see her occasionally at the coffee shop. Are you blushing, Frank?
It's just a little warm in here.
Is it? I hadn't noticed.
What do you know about Samuel Spencer's bearer bonds?
Not much at all. I know he once told me he had treasure stashed away. Treasure, he said, had the power to change everything. And I guess 200 million really is enough to change quite a bit, isn't it?
Not if it's sitting in a safe collecting dust.
True enough.
What do you think of Mark Bradshaw?
Mark who?
Bradshaw. He does maintenance at Bayport High.
I can't say I know him.
We need to get into the crime lab to access the criminal computer.
The locks were just changed, and the only one with a key at the moment is Con Riley.
Thanks for your help, Chief.
No problem, boys.
Hello again, Officer Riley. Do you have a minute?
Actually, no, not right now. It's very good of you to help out, Thomas. But now I have to find some evidence of who did this, or Chief Collick will have my head.
Sorry. We'll talk later.
I'll just take this. Could come in handy. It looks like someone or something has been living here. This could be useful. It looks like someone or something has been living here. It's a vent. This screwdriver doesn't work here. I need a Phillips head. I can't see anything. This cabinet escaped the vandals unharmed. I'll just borrow it. This could be useful. I don't think anyone will miss this. I can't turn it with my hands. I hear gas escaping. This could be useful. We'd better close that valve before we leave. It looks like a makeshift grave.
Officer Riley, there's something we think you should see.
What's up?
We found a hideout. It looks like someone's recently slept there.
Where?
The old nurse's station.
Can you take me there?
Sure, let's go. What do you think, Officer Riley?
This is good work. I would bet dollars to donuts this nest belongs to our culprit. It's a treasure trove of evidence.
Officer Riley, can I ask you a few questions?
Of course.
What kind of evidence have you found?
Mostly DNA. If he slept here, there's probably hair. Maybe other excretions.
Ugh, I'm gonna barf.
Point is, you can't help but leave traces behind.
Dollars to donuts? Is that a police expression?
And was that really necessary?
We need to get into the crime lab to access the criminal computer, but the chief told us that it's your domain. Can you come back to the station and let us in?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. You can't use that equipment anyway. It's for officials only.
Well, maybe you could do the computer search for us.
Look, I'm glad you guys are helping out. I really do appreciate it. But I am really busy here. I can't leave this area until I've searched it thoroughly.
Can't you just run to the office and then come back?
Nope. Can't risk the crime scene being tainted. It isn't even sealed off.
What do you mean by sealed off?
No crime scene tape keeps the inquisitive types away. I'm not worried about the thief returning to the scene. I don't think that's a likely scenario in this case. But we can't risk a looky-loo coming around and disturbing the scene.
What if one of us stays here?
Hey, I trust you, but this is a police procedure. I could lose my job. Just cordon off the area with some police tape, then my butt is covered.
Where can we get police tape?
Well, you could go to the station, or you could just find something else that'll do the job. That's really up to you.
Talk to you later, Officer Riley.
Will do.
Did I just use a screwdriver to get another screwdriver? Oh well, at least it's a different... A pair of boots! I was afraid it might be another screwdriver. I'll just borrow it. The boots match the footprints exactly. I don't think that gauze is gonna do much good. If anything, it's going to attract attention, not discourage it.
Officer Riley, we did that thing.
Can you be more specific? Did you put up the police tape?
Kind of.
Kind of.
I mean, yes, it's up, no problem.
Okay, I'm pretty much done here anyway. I'll meet you boys back at the station, although I don't know what good it's gonna do you. I can't do anything that contravenes regulations.
Wouldn't dream of asking anything of the kind. See you there.
Ugh, I thought he'd never leave. Wow, this is some lab.
It's not bad for a small town.
So we really can't use any of this stuff, huh?
No, I'm sorry, boys. But I tell you what, you want to run a suspect search? I'd be glad to do that for you.
What do we need to run a suspect search?
Well, you gotta know something about the perp. Physical characteristics, hair color, eye color, stuff like that. Then I do a run through all the guys and gals we have on file, see what gets spit out.
But only if they have a police file, right?
That's right, but lots of criminals are career criminals. Once they get a taste of it, they keep coming back for more.
No.
Well, come back when you do.
Hey again, Iola.
Hey, guys.
Can I ask you a few things?
I suppose.
Still upset about that extra credit assignment?
I just don't get it. I just can't believe he expects us to do something they don't even do at college.
Maybe he doesn't.
What? How so?
I don't know. Just a thought. What do you think of Phil Cohen?
Phil? He is funny. Hey, remember the Halloween party last year? He came wearing a crown, playing a harmonica and yelling in his fake English accent, "I am the Royal Philharmonica." What a hoot.
I still don't get that. Anyway, what I mean is, what do you think of him?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
Hey, Iola, would you come look at something?
Frank? I'm really not in the mood for silliness.
This isn't silliness. I think we may have solved your aspirin problem.
No offense, but how is that possible? You two haven't cracked a chem book all year.
Just come look, please.
He isn't joking, Iola, I promise.
Okay, this better be worth my time. Yes! 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 I was so blind, of course! You two! Oh, you two! That is fantastic! Thank you so much!
Hi, Ms. Wizard.
Hi, boys. What's going on?
Can you analyze some evidence we found?
Sure. Let's have it.
We found this blue rag at the scene of the crime. We think the crook may have used it. Do you think you can test it for traces of blood?
It does look like there's blood on this thing, but I don't know how to test for blood. We never covered it. I'm sure we have the equipment to do it. I'm afraid I'll need some help on this one.
Okay, we'll see if we can find out anything about it. Thanks for all your help, Iola.
It's nothing. Come back if you need anything else.
We will.
Bye.
Guys, the AC's fixed.
Yeah, we know. We fixed it.
The Nexus thanks you. And more importantly, my armpits thank you.
Can you show us how to use the Nexus?
There's nothing to it, really. It works like any other search engine. You just type in whatever you want to find out about and hit search. If an entry exists, you're there.
Great. Sounds simple.
Simple enough for a Hardy to use.
Hey.
Okay, let me know if you have any problems with it.
Thanks, Phil.
No problem.
Hi, Ms. Wizard.
Hi, boys. What's going on?
Can you analyze some evidence we found?
Sure. Let's have it.
We found this blue rag at the scene of the crime. We think the crook may have used it. Do you think you can test it for traces of blood?
It does look like there's blood on this thing, but I don't know how to test for blood. We never covered it. I'm sure we have the equipment to do it. I'm afraid I'll need some help on this one.
You're in luck. We just happen to know the procedure.
That's pretty complicated, but I think we have all we need to get started. Now we have all the supplies we need. Okay, let's give it a whirl. Hand me the hydrogen peroxide. Here goes. Well, that is fascinating.
What? What did you find?
First of all, there was more than just blood on this rag.
What else was there?
Several small shards of glass. And a fingernail.
Ew.
Yeah.
The thief must have wrapped that rag around his fist to break the window.
Most likely.
And that isn't the weirdest thing.
What? What is?
The blood type on this blood is B negative.
And?
AB negative is the rarest of blood types. Less than 1% of the population has it.
Say, that could be pretty useful information.
I'll say.
Okay, thanks, Iola.
No problem.
Hi, Ms. Wizard.
Hi, boys. What's going on?
Can you analyze some evidence we found?
Sure. Let's have it.
Is there any way to see if the mud on this boot matches this mud sample?
You have the propane?
Yep, here it is.
What the?
Look, we got it. Please don't question our methods.
Okay, here goes. Now, let's see. Aha! Interesting. There's no question about it. Both these mud samples were taken from within the same batch.
What do you mean, the same batch?
Well, I'm not a geologist, but this mud is pretty distinctive. I'd say the mud on the boots came from within 100 yards of the mud sample.
Great. Thanks, Iola.
Anytime.
Hi, Ms.
Hi, boys. What's going on?
Can you analyze some evidence we found?
Sure. Let's have it.
Is there anything you can determine from this hair sample?
Let me take a look. I couldn't determine much. We don't have the equipment here to do an all-out hair test, but, one thing was obvious.
What's that?
The hair is black.
Oh, gee, thanks.
I'm kidding. Gotcha. Actually, what was obvious was that the hair had been cut within the last few days. See, the end was cleanly and freshly sheared.
That's interesting. Perhaps a visit to the local barber is in order. Thanks, Iola.
Anytime.
Hi, Ms. Wizard.
Hi, boys. What's going on?
Can you analyze some evidence we found?
Sure. Let's have it.
Can you compare the glass from that blue rag and this shard to see if they come from the same place?
Sure. I can even do it without destroying the glass.
Wow. I'm amazed.
Quiet, you. Let me see them.
Here you go.
This should do it. Well, what do you know?
Did you come up with any more information about the guy you're looking for?
Yes.
Let's have it.
We found out his blood type.
Ooh, that can be pretty useful. What is it?
AB negative.
Wow, rare. Very useful. Let's see what the computer comes up with. Still not enough information for a match. Got any other information on the guy you're looking for?
We know the color of his hair.
Not the best information, but we'll see what we can do with it. What color is it?
Black.
Of course. Couldn't be red, could it? Make things too easy. Okay, let's see. Still not enough information for a match. Got any other information on the guy you're looking for?
We know his shoe size.
Ah, useful. What is it?
11.5.
Okie doke. Let's see what we get. We've got it. I'll print it out. John Johnson? That's the worst alias I've ever heard. Well, for what it's worth, here you go.
Thanks, Officer Khan.
Hello. How you boys doing? Coming for a haircut? No, don't tell me. Flat tops, huh? How about a short long? Hey, as soon as I'm done with the young boy here, I'll get to you. Chop, chop.
Oh, hey, Joe. Frank, how's it going?
Hey, Chet. Hello, Mr. Russo. Actually, we aren't here for haircuts. We just had a few questions for you.
I was born into this world with shears in hand. It's no issue for me to answer a few questions while trimming young Chet's hair.
Don't distract him too much.
Please, I could do this with my eyes closed. I like you, young Mr. Morton, but you provide no challenge for Giuseppe.
We're looking into a crime that occurred recently, and we think the criminal may have gotten his hair cut here in the past few days. He had straight black hair. Does that sound like anyone you might remember?
Boys, that sounds like half of the heads of hair I've beautified this week. Can you be more specific?
We have a picture printout of the suspect. Could you take a look at it and see if you recognize him?
Yeah, I remember well. This one was a good tipper. He was here yesterday, perhaps the day before.
Do you remember his name? Did he pay with a credit card?
What am I, the Pope? Hey, we don't take credit cards. And no, I don't remember the name.
Is there anything at all you can remember about him? Even the smallest thing could help.
I'm thinking. Hey, wait a minute. He left me a business card. Yeah, I remember because he could only leave one. I have people leave two, just in case. You understand. It's in the fishbowl.
How are we going to find it with all these other cards in here?
Easy. Mr. Russo said the man could only leave one card, while everyone else leaves two. If we get rid of all the pairs of cards, the only one left should be our man.
Do you know Samuel Spencer?
I don't know the name. I think I know a Spencer. But it's not Samuel. Todd, Tommy.
Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas. He's been here a few times, I think. Not such a good tipper, but then they can't all be, right?
Right. Have you heard or read anything about a theft over at Spencer Mansion?
No, I do read the paper every day, but I can't recall such a story.
Well, we'll talk to you later, Mr. Russo.
Be good, you boys.
We will. It's a fishbowl. A sign on it reads, "Leave 2 business cards for 2 chances at a free haircut." This could be useful.
Mr. Russo, do you have a minute? We have a picture printout of the suspect. Could you take a look at it and see if you recognize him?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I remember well. This one was a good tipper. He was here yesterday, perhaps the day before.
Do you remember his name? Did he pay with a credit card?
What am I, the Pope? Hey, we don't take credit cards. And no, I don't remember the name.
Is there anything at all you can remember?
I'm thinking. Hey, wait a minute.
How are we going to find...
Easy. Mr. Russo said the man could only leave one card, while everyone else leaves 2. If we get rid of all the pairs of cards, the only one left should be our man.
Dougal Seep. Do you remember anything else about him?
A little. A strange name, a strange person. He seemed preoccupied. A little out there, you know what I mean? He laughed at the wrong times. I would tell a joke and nothing, but then in the middle of a conversation, he would just start giggling. Very odd, that one.
Wait a minute. We should come up with aliases and a cover story. We don't want him putting his guard up before we figure out what's going on.
Okay, you got it. How about we be Dirk Flintlock and Thor Hammerfall, famous mountain climbing adventurers?
That's a little conspicuous, don't you think?
Don't be such a fuddy-duddy, Thor.
Seriously, Joe, how about John and Eric Matheson, reporters for the New York Review? We can pretend that we're doing a story on the shop.
Okay. But you be John. It's too common a name for me.
Your name is Joe.
Joe has character. John is a blank piece of paper.
Whatever. Okay, what's your name?
Eric Matheson, journalist.
And my name?
John, the blank piece of paper.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, welcome to Dougal Seep's Masquerade Emporium. My name is Val. If you need any assistance, please let me know. I am here to serve.
Hi, Val. We could use a little help.
Of course. Are you interested in our Grand Guignol line? Perhaps you are more inclined toward the Danse Macabre.
No, not really. I'm Eric Matheson from the New York Review, and this is my partner, John. I'm the brains. He's the dead weight.
We're looking to do a piece on the store, as well as on its owner, Mr. Seep. Can we speak to him?
Oh, I see. You are with the New York Review, you say?
Yes.
The arts section, I take it.
You, take it correctly.
Do you know a Nat? Nat Florenti?
Nat, of course. He's quite the reporter himself.
Herself. Natalie.
Oh, Natalie. Yes, of course. She's good too. Maybe not quite on the level of Nat yet.
Right. So you wish to speak to Mr. Seep?
If that's possible, yes.
Oh, it's possible. I can take you to him. But first, could you both be angels and help me with a bit of straightening up?
I guess so. It's a little unorthodox for us.
Yes, well, if you haven't noticed, the shop is all about being unorthodox. In any case, there was a group of younglings in here earlier, and they made quite a mess of the place. Now, if you wish to see Mr. Seep, I can accommodate you much faster if you help me close up the store.
Sure, no problem. What do you need us to do?
The mannequins have been rendered somewhat less than whole. If there's one thing kids love to do, it's grab a sword, run around a bit, brandish it, poke out an eye, and drop it wherever they happen to be standing at the moment. Each mannequin is missing an accoutrement or two. If you could fetch and replace them, I'd be ever so grateful. You have to be careful, though. There's surely more than one item that might appear to fit the bill lying around. Be sure you use the proper accessories. A place for everything, and everything in its place. There's a costume catalog near the dressing rooms that might help you figure out what goes where. Being journalists, I'm sure you'll have no problem figuring it out. Now hop to it.
Okay.
It's a catalog of costumes. I'll keep a lookout for Peter Pan. I want to suck your blood. A pirate. Arr! I dub thee a good costume. It's a witch, like my civics teacher. It's a devil, even in the details. It's a skeleton. He needs to eat something. It's a werewolf. Was there a full moon tonight? I didn't notice. That completes the outfit. Now it's a complete costume. That seems to complete the ensemble. That seems to complete the ensemble. I dub thee a good costume. Now it's a complete costume. That seems to complete the ensemble. Now it's a complete costume. Now it's a complete costume.
Everything is placed correctly.
Excellent! Part 1, complete.
Part 1?
Yes, this is a two-part exercise. Didn't I make that clear?
No, you didn't mention it. Now listen.
No, you listen. I don't know what your business is here. I don't know what you want with Mr. Seep, and I can't say I much care. What I do care about is that I'm going to be late for a concert this evening if I don't get out of here as soon as possible. Now, if you wish to see Mr. Seep, your cooperation is required.
What? We write for the New York Review.
I very much doubt you could write your own names.
Hey!
Do you want to see Mr. Seep?
Yes.
Then please listen. The gondolas around my register aren't facing in the proper directions. OCD is a cruel mistress, and it has spared neither me nor Mr. Seep. So please, save us from our compulsions.
Fine. Okay, the gondolas are in position.
Great! Your timing is excellent. I'm almost done here myself. Please go into the back room while I set the alarm. Try not to move too much once you're back there. Motion sensors, you know. I'll join you in a moment and bring you to Mr. Seep.
Will do. Thanks, Val.
Don't mention it.
I can't open it. I don't think anyone will miss this. It's a chess piece. It's a chess piece. I'll just take this. Could come in handy. Someone here takes astrology too seriously. Hi, we're from the New York Review. Are you Dougal Seep?
You two are nothing if not persistent. New York Review my eye.
Huh?
I know why you're here, although apparently you do not.
What are you talking about?
Frank and Joe Hardy. You both attend Bayport High School. You both take after your rather gifted father when it comes to finding yourselves in and getting yourselves out of trouble. You have been led here by the well-intentioned but mistaken grace of the Bayport Police Department, have you not?
Well, we'd like to think we led ourselves here.
Of course, I'm not trying to take anything away from your detecting prowess. In fact, I should have said you've been misled here by the Bayport PD. If left to your own devices, you would likely have stayed on the correct trail. I assume you have some questions to ask.
If you have answers.
I have answers, although they aren't likely to be ones you expect.
We have quite a bit of evidence linking you to the crime scene.
Oh, really? Like what?
We have a hair sample from the scene. It matches yours.
I very much doubt that. A sample of hair from the actual scene of the crime?
Well, from a room where the thief was hiding.
Well, that's different, isn't it? After all, You haven't yet asked me if I visited the beautiful and historic Spencer Mansion recently, have you?
Oh, well, have you? Visited Spencer Mansion recently, that is?
Yes.
Aha!
Quite. I was there just 2 days ago.
You got your hair cut.
Yes, although I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Why were you at Spencer Mansion?
My reasons are my own.
The police might not agree.
I don't think we need to get them involved quite yet.
I think we do. Does your cell phone have a signal?
No.
Why am I not surprised?
This all seems nefarious, I'm sure, but I am not here to threaten you with villainous overtures. I am in all truth on your side in this sad affair, but I do have a conflict of interest which prevents me from being too helpful.
What's that?
I think perhaps you may be able to figure that out on your own. I will, however, point you back in the right direction. The man you look for is Richard Llewellyn. He is in his 30s, has some unbecoming tattoos, and a chip on his shoulder. The last I heard from him, he was holding up at the Crescent Theater with an old high school friend of his. It isn't far from here, although I must caution you. A rat, when cornered, will fight viciously.
Now wait just a minute. Your hair is found near the crime scene. Your blood type is linked to the scene. You admit to being at the scene of the crime just a few days ago. How do we know you aren't sending us off on a wild goose chase while you pack up and leave town?
You don't. But you don't really have much choice in the matter, do you?
That's not very reassuring.
Joe, we can't just leave this guy here.
Well, we can arrest him.
You could wait here with him while I go get the...
Boys, I appreciate the nuance of this discourse, but I'm afraid a blunter instrument is required.
Uh-oh, Joe. Think he's gonna attack us with a hammer.
Charming. No attacks. But you should bear in mind that if I were the culprit you were looking for, it would not be difficult to detain you here while I made my escape. As things stand, however, I am merely trying to aid you boys without betraying my other interests. Here, I have something for you. It's about time.
Pardon?
It's about time.
No disrespect intended, but...
It will eventually. This whole affair is bigger than you imagine. It is a play, and you are only seeing the last act. It can't possibly make sense until someone fills you in on what happened before you arrived. Now, you should go. The Crescent awaits.
Okay.
I don't like this, Joe.
I don't like it much either. But like he says, we really don't have much choice.
All right, we'll check out this Crescent place, but if we find out you're lying, we'll return with the full weight of the law on our side.
I would expect nothing less. Good luck, boys.
Like a bullet from a gun, she arrived on the scene. A young detective who doesn't know the meaning of fear.